I'm here at Vivace with Tori Ashmore. Tori, first of all, thanks for having us in. Let's get right into it. Tell us what's going on in the real estate market. You're a builder, you're a designer, Atlanta metro area. Where's this crash we're all waiting on?
I don't know. We're in Atlanta, so I don't know that there's actually going to be a crash coming here because I feel like so many people are moving here, at least from my perspective. I am definitely not an expert in real estate marketing, but I have noticed I feel like business is booming. I feel like so many people are moving here. There's still shortage on houses. It's really affected. I feel like it's for me personally. I feel like it's affected more. We've not doing as many new builds. We're
Right.
renovating because there's
Yeah.
supply and demand. There's not enough houses to go around, so
Yeah.
we're renovating.
So people aren't willing to wait that time period to build brand new. They're just renovating the current house. Is that what you're saying?
No, we like to have it our way right away and right now. So
Yeah,
no.
right. So what about interest rates? I mean, have you seen, we've seen interest rates obviously spike over the last couple of years.
Correct.
Is that affecting renovations? I mean, I'm sure it's, you mentioned new builds, not necessarily much, but what about on the renovation side as a whole? Is that slowing people down, or, just because of the cost of financing or the cost of money, has that slowed down the number of renovations you're doing?
I don't feel so. I think because interest rates are going up, people are more content to stay where they're at
Hmm.
and put their money or pull equity from their house or
Yeah,
their savings and go ahead and do that. So I feel like it's actually caused renovations to increase
right.
from where we're sitting.
So that, one of the theories out there is the lock-in effect, right? People are locked into these lower interest rates or staying put and they're renovating. So it sounds like that may be the case in the Atlanta metro area for sure.
I love doing it.
Yeah.
So
Now, let everybody know about your price point too, because, I'm walking around here, some of the renderings that I've seen, the
yeah.
3D renderings, we'll get into that. Some of the price points on the builds that you've done, we're not talking about entry level.
No, and that's exactly right. It's why there's two sides that I feel about that. I feel like anybody can have the house that they want, no matter what your budget is. Like whatever your budget is, make it a safe place for you. Put the colors that you want, buy what you can afford. But that may not mean you can afford a designer, and that's okay.
Sure.
But I'm still like, do that for yourself.
Right.
But we market to more high end and luxury.
Hmm.
And from our experience, those type of niche or marketplace don't care as much about
Right.
the interest rates.
Right.
And so, yeah, our new builds usually start around 500,000. We don't take much below that.
Okay.
And then just for design, our lowest package that we offer is $5,000, and that's for one room. So
Right.
that is kind of the entry level.
Sure.
But I feel like what we bring to the table and the value is very money well spent.
I don't doubt it. Everything I've seen here, values there for sure. Well, you're here. I'm with Tori Ashmore of Vivace.
Vivace. Thank you, Jordan.
Vivace. I had it right so many times, and I knew I was due.
It's hard to say.
So we're talking a little bit of real estate. If you like what you hear today, please like, subscribe, follow along, comment below. Tori or I will do my best to answer your building and your design questions. Tori, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a farm girl from Texas who grew up in a builder's home, and I love making things beautiful. That's one of my passions. I love going into old spaces or things that they just need someone to notice them. Yeah. And make them beautiful. So whether that's a new build or a renovation, that's what I love to do. I am an architectural and interior designer, full scale from the permitted set of plans to building, or a lot of clients just hire us for design because design is where my biggest passion is.
Who's been your mentor throughout your career?
My biggest mentor has been my dad. I was much a daddy's girl growing up. He got me my first pink tool belt when I was 10 years old, and I was on the job site every day, working with him when I wasn't in school or on breaks, and I fell in love with building and design. He did this house out at the lake right outside of Dallas Fort Worth, and I came in and I was like, "You need one of those ceilings that do this with the wood." I designed my first barrel ceiling and I didn't even know what it was. No and so my dad saw that in me and just continually to push me to better myself and to learn that.
A great story. Yeah. So, on that same line, again, we've talked about this a little bit throughout the day, being a female builder, in a male dominated industry for so long. Certainly there's been plenty that have come up through the ranks, and you're one of them. Just tell everybody a little bit about what that's like or what that was like and maybe share a story or two with us.
Okay. I feel that it's getting better, just like anything. A lot of our society doesn't like change. And stereotypically, builders are men, and they have kind of ruled that world. But also, I feel like the trajectory has changed because used to, when we said designer 10, 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, we just meant a decorator. But designers now, we have the math and the science, and we know almost just as much, if not the same, as builders. So I feel like us, anyone can be a builder, whether you're male or female. We all deserve a seat at the table. I will say, I feel like as a female, I might bring a little more attention to detail or focus in on those things maybe more than my counterpart. But
Are you telling me that my wife was right and that women have more attention to detail than I do? Is that what you're saying?
are you saying that she doesn't?
I would never say that, Tori. I would never say that. All right. So, what about what's going on right now? Because you got a lot going on right now. You've got new builds happening, renovations taking place, subdivisions being built. Talk about what all is taking place right now.
Well, right now I have a couple renovations going, and I love doing that. And our clients love it. They're really busy. Metro Atlanta is busy. So we have this beautiful studio here. They come here. We keep everything in house, from our beautiful lighting fixtures to our flooring to our custom cabinets. We carry 4 lines of cabinets here. We have partnerships with countertop places, custom fabric lines. Like, I feel like they can come here and we're literally a one-stop shop. You're not running all over Atlanta, which it takes an hour to get anywhere in Atlanta.
Sure.
They can come here and we really can design the whole space in this creative atmosphere. Right. So we've really done a lot of renovations over the last 2 years, a couple new builds, but the same process. You're coming in and you're getting to select all of those things. But you did mention my subdivision, which is my baby, and I've never done a subdivision, so it's been a learning curve. But I partnered with Chrissy, who I think you know and talked to, and we decided to do this mini subdivision right on the Cherokee border, right next to the city of Milton. So wow. We're loving that. We're doing 5 beautiful modern farmhouses. I think the starting point is like 1.7 million. So these are gorgeous
right.
homes.
So you've got these, each lot is a couple acres, am I right?
They're 3.
Okay. 3
and they're
acres.
Zoned agricultural. Okay. There's water. People can, I'm a farm girl, so I'm all excited about them getting their ducks or their goats or their cows.
Now, you've done, you're talking about Cherokee County. This is where the subdivision is, but you're all over Metro Atlanta, excuse me. So you've mentioned Fourth Ward, the Battery, yes. All over the place. Speak to that a little bit.
So about 5 years ago, it was right after the stadium moved. An investor hired us to go in and help him with some homes. And that's the time when people were just bulldozing them. And that's not, I don't love to do that. I want to take the culture and the environment down there and embrace the history. Yeah. And one of the homes that we did down in the Fourth Ward, they're row homes. Like you can literally touch the sides. That one turned out beautiful. Few things we couldn't keep because once we started tearing it down, it was just disintegrating. Sure. But we kept as much of that history and culture as we could. But there's one next to the stadium that we did. When we pulled all this ugly paneling down, there was a brick wall, there was an old brick fireplace, and we kept all of that in the design because I feel like people still want to know the history and the culture of that home of when it was built.
Agreed. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We see that all over the place. Yep. Where instead of investigating what's taking place, we're just bulldozing down and rebuilding. So kudos to you. That's amazing. I love to hear that. I love to hear that we're able to continue to capture and then just improve the historic homes that we have here in the Atlanta metro area. Now, trends that are taking place. I see a lot of colors. I see a lot of textures. Yep. We've kind of joked around a little bit about it. Agreeable gray used to be the color, the only color that you could actually get out there. But now, there's all kinds of different colors. Talk about that. What's happening out there?
They just produced the trending colors for this year, and there's a lot of like moodiness. This is not quite black, but it's like this beautiful warm gray. Green is in, some blush colors. Like people are really embracing those colors that I would say evoke emotion. I think that's why we're drawn to that. Like if we're in these spaces, like during the pandemic when we have all white walls or all gray walls, you're not feeling inspired or you're not feeling safe or you're not feeling creative. So, depending on who you are and what your home is used for, an entertainer or one who likes to entertain is going to want different colors.
Sure.
So I love that we are embracing color and individuality in design again. Plus, that makes my job way more fun.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, not just the standard palette, and you just switch
No.
around and kind of play with things and see what works. I would imagine.
Yeah. I
Sounds
want my work to be pinned on Pinterest, not, just not copy and pasting and
right,
repeating.
right. Now, for somebody that can't necessarily afford you to come in and design their home, what are some just quick tips or some advice you can give the do it themselves
Yeah, DIYers.
individual? Yeah,
Yeah. I would say do what makes you happy. Like, life is short. Like, don't try to just be whatever or design whatever everyone else says. If you like, paint is cheap. No, so no matter what your budget is, paint. You can paint it yourself.
right.
Find a color that makes you happy, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel relaxed, and paint your walls. Just
Yeah,
start there.
yeah,
And if you can't afford a custom piece of furniture, there are places that still give you a similar look,
yeah,
in your space. Now, yes, I would rather design that for them, but
right,
don't wait for that money.
right.
Like, make your safe space.
And in a world we're in today where it's instant gratification, I
Hmm.
mean, painting's like the perfect way to get that instant
It
gratification.
is.
All right, so what does the future have entail for Vivace?
Oh, I've like to do so many different things. I want
Yeah,
to finish the subdivision,
yeah,
that's for sure. We just started getting some commercial jobs. I'm doing a camp in Louisiana, so we actually do much more than just Atlanta. I've had jobs in Birmingham. We have the at this really fun camp in Louisiana that just hired us,
what is it? I'm sorry, what a camp? Like what kind of camp?
like a youth camp.
Oh, okay, I
In a
gotcha.
retreat center.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like a retreat center. We
Okay.
got full package design on that, the renderings. That one has been really fun. I'll have to show you some of those renderings. They're fabulous. We designed their coffee shop, their game room. We kind
Awesome.
of did this 1990s retro
Yeah,
vibe in there.
yeah,
So that was really fun. I want boutique hotels. Like, I don't want to only do them, but
yeah.
that's something that we are pursuing right now
Hmm.
because I don't know. I love just the intimacy and the vibrance of them.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, just from the conversation we had right now, I mean, it kind of fits your personality
It does.
too, because you're going to be able to bring in some of the old and the quaintness
Yep.
and still restore some of the original build
Yep.
and historic features. So I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That fits right with reality. So next time I run across a boutique hotel or a smaller
I want
hotel, I'll holler at you. Where can everybody find you and contact you? Because whether they want your service, whether they want to know about the subdivision, what's the best place to follow you and contact you?
So yes, and we even do e-design. So if someone wants to contact us to say, here's the pictures of my room, here's the dimensions of my room, flat fee, let me design it. They go buy it. We even do that. So we want to have get it, help as many people as we
Yeah,
can. But the best place to reach me is vivace.com.
spell that for everybody.
Vivace design.com. Think of Vivace, but it's really Vivace. But it's Vivace at Vivace.com. You can find us there, or please give us a follow on Instagram. That's Vivace as well.
Okay.
Drop me a DM. I'll get you
So
back.
before I wrap this up, I gotta talk a little bit about this because I feel like just from what you just told me, you've really embraced technology. Being a farm chick, I feel like embracing technology isn't necessarily going to be part of what you would expect, but whether it's 3D images, the consults, or the designs that you do, why? Why are we embracing technology so much?
Well, I feel like design as a whole is continually evolving. So if I can't evolve with the technology, then I'm still stuck designing on graph paper and my sticker mood boards, which that's fine. They have their time and the place. But I mean, you have to learn the technology that with it. Our software that we use is very integrated. We can build everything in one beautiful software
Hmm.
that does our building plans, our takeoffs,
Hmm.
and our beautiful images. So that is one of the things. Technology does not actually come easy for me.
Yeah,
Technology is something I have to push myself for, but
right.
that's how we stay relevant with our
Absolutely.
customers and our
Yeah.
clientele.
I mean, if you're not growing, you're dying.
That's right.
So, I mean, you're growing with technology and making these changes.
Yep.
So, again, I mean, that's just another reason why you need to be working with Vivace and Tori Ashmore. Now, before I let you go, one last piece of advice. Yeah, I heard you mention Pinterest. Where's a good place for inspiration?
Pinterest is a good place for inspiration. I mean, who doesn't? And I even have my clients before we have that first meeting, send me your Pinterest boards. Let
Yeah,
me get inside your head
yeah.
because you may say modern to me and I'm picturing this,
Hmm.
and then I come to the table and put all this work in and you meant modern because the walls were white. I mean,
Right.
so I
Okay.
feel like pictures truly are worth 1,000 words.
Awesome. Love that. Well, thank you once again. This place is absolutely stunning. I mean, I
Thank
can't
you.
say enough. We've had a tremendous day. It's been a blast. Had lots of
We
laughs.
have.
Learned tons, a lot more than I expected to learn, to be honest with you, about design and colors and textures. All things real estate. And thanks to you,
Yeah.
Tori, I'm
Anytime.
leaving out of here with a little bit more education. I understand how cows and horses pull grass from the ground now as well. That's from the farm chick.
From the farm chick.
And don't forget about ducks. I'll tell you about ducks on the X-rated version as well. So thank you very much. This has been another guaranteed interview. Tori Ashmore, Vivace, Vivace, Vivace.